Coming at you with an Exeggutor Greninja deck that has consistently been one of the best performing two-color decks in Pokemon Pocket's community tournaments. Exeggutor EX is a really powerful card that can win games completely on its own, and our new Exeggcute from the Mythical Island expansion smooths out two-color variants in a big way, because if you lead on to blue energies, you can put the first one on the Exeggcute and then use that growth spurt to achieve your first grass. Greninja is also a card that's very forgiving when it comes to two-color energy variants. Its Water Shuriken doesn't need any energy to work, and its first two stages attack with just colorless energy, meaning even if you get double grass to start, you can hit with Frogadier on that second turn. We play Mew as the last Pokemon in this deck list as a tanky thing that can start for us while we set up our stage 2, but it can also be a finisher in matchups like Mewtwo and Charizard. At any rate, I hope you enjoy the games that I have for you today. I think they do an excellent job of showcasing how this deck has play into a variety of matchups in the metagame. If you like what you see, smash that button for the rest of the day. Have fun. What would your choice of deck be if you really wanted to win a tournament? Are you asking for me personally, or are you asking for you, what's the best chance for you to win a tournament? Because if you at home are looking for just like, for me personally, I don't really have a deck that stands out to me right now. I guess I like the Blastoise deck. Has been a lot of fun. How should you choose your deck? I'm going to give you a piece of advice you're probably not going to hear a lot of other places. You should make sure that if you are playing in a tournament, you should play a deck that you like playing. I think gamers consistently undervalue how much value or not they're going to get out of not enjoying their third tournament play. Like, if playing a stock meta deck is going to give you a plus 5% win rate or whatever, but you're miserable while you play it, you're really not going to do well. Yeah, there's a reason why in my latest tier list video, I didn't have any S tier decks. I think every one of the top decks right now has good ways for you to be able to attack it in a variety of ways. And I don't think there's anything that's a cut above the rest. Why are we using this version of Exeggcute here as opposed to the damage version? Because this version of Exeggcute helps you fix your bricked energy draws. Well, them not having their stage 1 here is huge for us. Evolving clear status condition, so Frogadier knocks this out, and then we are off to the races here, so to speak. Really does feel like the line between A and B is thinner with Mythical Island. I mean, my pre-Mythical Island tier list, I literally didn't have an A tier. I had 3 decks in S tier, and then everything else was under them, because I think they were much better than the other options. If they don't have a Hypno here, we should hopefully be able to just run them down now. We get to Greninja, clear the Drowsy, and then by the time the Mewtwo is set up, our Mew will be set up. The Mythical Island mini set gave me a lot of optimism about the future of this game. It really allowed the card designers to flex their muscles and show that they know what they're doing. I think the way they added cards like Mew EX and Tauros and Drudagon, and the way those cards impacted the dynamics of how the games play out are really solid. Got me. One Exeggutor, please. Thanks, bud. Appreciate you. Oh my goodness, they gave me Froakie Frogadier too. What a gamer. Red card is so trash. Oh, it's so funny how terrible this card is. Cool. And then Mew just shows up here and puts him in a trash can. Speaking of good designs and having counterplay in a variety of things, I'd like to genome hacking you and take my last knockout point here. Magikarp. I bet this matchup's tough for our deck. We are going to have Greninja on curve this game, though, which has a lot of value. We'll put our first energy on the Exeggutor because our next energy is a water. I want to be able to attack with this next turn, ideally. Is Wonder Pick actually random? For everybody else, it's actually random, but for you, Sincluster, I reached out to the Pokemon Company personally and told them to make sure that you never hit. I've got some pull over there, so sorry, but you're screwed. It's unfortunate that we have Baby Exeggutor instead of the big one. This is going to take 3 hits on average to clear the Drudagon. How could Wonder Picks not be random? Very clearly, the Pokemon Company is always listening through the microphone in your cell phone to hear which cards you're talking about actually wanting to pull, and then they rig the system so you never hit the ones you actually want. Wake up, sheeple. With Mew plus Greninja, we're actually in a kinda okay spot into this Gyarados, because we'll get to clear this, and then Mew can 140 the Gyarados after it clears our egg. I don't know if my body is prepared to brick on a third stomp flip here. Golly. I guess I could just Greninja to finish this next turn. Hey, Keith, thank you for the super chat. That's very generous. I think least bad Alakazam honestly might involve Exeggutor EX as your lead Pokemon. Exeggutor EX or Weezing, I think, are both appealing. If they hit with Misty here and switch in their Greninja, we could maybe be in trouble. Oh, I guess if they hit with Misty, they can't leave, so maybe we're okay either way there. It's like 12.5% to C3 tails. That's not the worst luck. Whoa. Okay, so your statistics are very clearly ignoring the fact that I am the main character in this story. So anything that's remotely below average is incredibly unlucky. Hey, Gendy, thank you for the 6 years of support. It's a long time. Welcome back. Exeggutor can do this all day, yeah, basically. Put him up! Put him up! With the Mew plus Greninja, this matchup actually seems not terrible. What a top deck, holy. This means they have to put both of their things into this to clear it. Oh, that's a solid heads. Do we leaf to the other egg? I don't have another grass energy queued up, so leafing to the other egg is not great here. And now, the way this board is set up, my Greninja can clear this and this with its ability. Usually these decks don't play any sustain. I think they're out to win this game from here is put Gyarados up and hope to strip an energy off my Mew, which means I actually messed up last turn. I should have put an extra energy on Mew. So small mistake here, but it looks like our opponent's not going to play to that out. Why did I choose to attack the Drudagon? I chose to attack the Drudagon last turn for what we're seeing right here. When I hit the Drudagon last turn, it means if this Exeggutor hits heads, my Greninja gets 2 knockout points, and I win the game now. So my sequence ends up looking a little bit different if my Exeggutor doesn't hit heads there, but because we hit heads, we get set up to win the game on the spot the following turn. I should show the sponsored lunch really quick because it's great. Very, very, very good. Getting a lot of meals I wouldn't have come up with on my own. Not something I'd ever thought to cook up, but it's very delicious. Oh, I'm a huge kale stan. It's my favorite salad bedding. So, this is why Baby Egg is in the deck. Because you just want to have an egg ASAP as often as possible. And sometimes you're not going to draw one of your 2 EXs, so. We'd prefer to have an EX egg here, but the third baby just adds some consistency for us. Hey, Zeckles, thank you for the almost 4 years. Welcome back. Start building up Mew here. Opponent Celebi doing Celebi things there for him. Nice guard, really. Opponent certainly having a go of it with their onion Pokemon here. If you haven't seen my meta reports before, one of the things they do while tracking trends in Pokemon Pocket are examining things like which Celebi decks are being successful. So for an example, in one of our recent tournament weekends data, 5% of people played Celebi decks. 5% of people played Celebi decks with 2 Exeggutor EX, and 5% of people played Celebi decks with less than that. And the 2 Exeggutor EX versions of Celebi accounted for 11% of top finishes, whereas the non-Exeggutor builds only accounted for 3% of the top finishes. Or in other words, the Celebi builds that are playing 2 Exeggutor EX are significantly better than the ones that are not. Which also leads to the question, is Celebi even good, or is Exeggutor just absolutely cracked and we should all be playing more of it? Punished by the Sabrina for not playing the other Froakie out, but it's probably fine. Alright, so I'm going to continue stacking energy on Mew, because Mew's genome hacking on Powerful Bloom will care about how many energies are on my Mew. So we'll get this back up to 130, we'll stomp him, and then next turn we'll have Greninja, plus a Mew that can crack this with Powerful Bloom back. Very likely win the game. Yes, stacking up energy is good against Delmise as well, is accurate. The way Delmise is templated with Mew, it has to have 3 extra grass energy, which means in order for Mew to get the bonus from the Delmise, you need 6 total energy, 3 of which are grass. No, you don't need, sorry, is it 4? It's 4 of which are grass. You need 6 total energy, 4 of which are grass. Because you need 1 grass for the attack. Or is it colorless? You definitely need 6. I think it's 6 with 3. You definitely need 6. The Mew is not lethal until, because your base attack needs 3, and then you need 3 more past your base attack that are grass. Or at least not bucket. What's the second basic Pokemon anyways, really? If they have a Charizard, we're a little bit torched here. But if they don't have a Charizard, Exeggutor could run them down, maybe. Our lack of Mew here means that we're up a creek without a paddle, though. Haba Hut, thank you for the 55 months. Holy, so you're saying there's a chance. Hopefully this Pokeball, if this Pokeball finds a Mew, we might have a shot. Just like my country, I'm young, scrappy, and hungry. We're not throwing away this shot. I need a Mew, and I need a knockout. So you're saying there's a chance. If they don't have Charizard this turn, I think we're actually favored. And if they do have Charizard this turn, we still have a shot. Not a good shot, but a shot. Rip. Your move, Yugi boy. They need 2 copies of Leaf here. If they Leaf this out, put this up, and then Leaf again, they're in a fine spot. I think if they give up both energies on Charizard here, they're just kind of up a creek without a pedal. I guess they could have double X speed. Deck plays 2 of those typically. Double X speed into Leaf could get us. Okay, but like the Charmeleon dies in 2 here. Do I want to put up Exeggutor? Execute? They Sabrina, they can't Leaf. And they don't have an energy here. If I don't play this out, they could Leaf into Growlithe, put an energy here, and then retreat this to the Charizard the following turn. They can't attack the Execute this turn. Are we done here? Wow, thanks for the red card, nerd. Like to dedicate this game to Cloud Hater. Would not have been possible without them redrawing our bricked 6-card hand. And that's like the one thing people are always like, well, red card's card advantage. It's like, well, if I have 6 cards in my hand, it's probably because my hand sucks and you shouldn't give me a new one. Good golly. Might save this one for later this week. Tentatively, there's tournaments running every single afternoon this week, so might just play one every day. I think is my plan. Gladiator! I hope we see Johto and my favorite pocket monster, Politoed, next month. Politoed's one of my favorites, too. This is a solid start for us, although we really want a grass energy under this water here is noteworthy. The Blastoise Tauros deck, I think, is my favorite deck right now. Plays one of my favorite characters and also feels quite powerful. Grass energy. Grass energy. Okay, so the fact that there is a grass energy here gives me the ability to play around Giovanni by evolving this turn. If this wasn't a grass energy, I would need to put a water energy on here and then growth spurt and just hope they don't have the Geo. But because this is grass guaranteed next turn, I can make this play now and play around them having the supporter card. LPL, thank you for the brand new Prime. Appreciate it. Another Erica. I was going to count the first Erica, but with 2, I think it's almost assuredly correct. Yeah, because now I get to do this. They hit me for 80, and then I heal again the next turn. Shuriken this down here, I think. Shuriken into here means I only need 1 heads. Where's their energy going? Investing into Articuno seems real good for us, especially with this other Erica queued up. Ooh, Misty. Even a single heads here is really strong for them. Thankfully, she's called Misty and not Hitty. So, with that Misty bricking, if we clear the Articuno, they actually can't attack next turn, which is great for us. So, I'm gonna be a little conservative for the first time in my life, and we'll Water Shuriken this, so that way it doesn't matter what the Exeggutor coin does. So I think just guaranteeing the Articuno is gone means that we're pretty far ahead. Can't attack with anything other than Starmie next turn. So we'll just put some damage on this. There's an argument to be put the Greninja damage somewhere else, but it probably largely doesn't matter. Hey, LQL, thanks for keeping me around. Appreciate the support. We did not get much snow here in Central Illinois. They had initially been calling for like 6 inches. I think we ended up getting less than an inch overall. My children were a little disappointed. They were hoping to go sledding. Hey, thanks, Ryan. like to hack your genomes, please.